Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're serious about building modern, robust, and scalable web applications, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into a powerhouse combination that has completely transformed the way developers build. React applications, TypeScript, and Next.js. We're going on a complete journey. From why this duo is so effective, to how you can seamlessly integrate them to unlock their full potential. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how to level up your Next.js projects with the power of TypeScript. So let's start with the big question. Why should you even bother using TypeScript with Next.js? The answer lies in a single, powerful concept: reliability. And JavaScript, as we all know and love, is a dynamically typed language. This flexibility is great for getting started quickly, but as projects grow in size and complexity, it can become a significant source of bugs. You might pass a number to a function, expecting a string, or misspell an object property, and you won't know until you run the code, and sometimes not even until your users encounter a cryptic error in production. This is where TypeScript swoops in to save the day. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript that adds static typing. Think of it as JavaScript with superpowers. By defining types for your variables, function parameters, and return values, you're essentially creating a contract for your code. TypeScript's compiler then acts as your vigilant coding partner, checking your code against these contracts before it even runs. It catches type-related errors during the development process, right inside your code editor. This compile time error checking is a game changer. It means fewer runtime errors, less time spent debugging, and a much more stable and reliable application. It's like having a safety net that catches your mistakes before they can cause any real damage. Now you might be thinking that sounds great, but isn't setting up TypeScript a huge hassle? With many frameworks, it can be. You'd have to wrestle with Webpack configurations, tsconfig files, and a bunch of other boilerplate. But this is where the magic of Next.js comes in. The Next.js team has made the integration with TypeScript incredibly seamless. It's practically effortless. When you create a new Next.js application using Create Next App, you're prompted to use TypeScript right from the start. If you say yes, Next.js handles everything for you. It automatically generates a tsconfig.json file with sensible defaults optimized for a Next.js project. It also installs all the necessary type definitions for React, Node, and Next.js itself. This means you can go from zero to a fully configured, type-safe Next.js project in a matter of seconds. You don't have to worry about the setup. You can just focus on writing clean, type-safe code. Let's talk about the practical benefits you'll see day to day. One of the biggest wins is the enhanced developer experience. With TypeScript, your code editor becomes significantly more intelligent. You get amazing auto-completion that knows exactly which properties are available on an object. You get inline documentation and function signature hints, so you don't have to constantly jump back and forth between files to remember how a function works. Refactoring code becomes a breeze. Need to rename a function or a property? Your editor can do it safely across the entire code base, confident that it won't break anything. This isn't just a minor convenience. It dramatically speeds up your development workflow and reduces cognitive load. You spend less time guessing and more time building. Furthermore, leveraging TypeScript in your Next.js projects significantly boosts maintainability and scalability. Imagine you're working on a large team or returning to a project after 6 months. Plain JavaScript, it can be incredibly difficult to understand what a piece of code is supposed to do. What kind of data does this component expect as props? What does this API endpoint return? With TypeScript, the types serve as living documentation. A quick glance at a component's prop types tells you exactly what data it needs to function correctly. This self-documenting nature makes your codebase much easier to understand, onboard new developers too, and maintain over the long term. As your application grows, this clarity becomes invaluable, preventing your codebase from turning into an unmanageable mess. Let's dive into a more concrete example within a Next.js context. Think about fetching data in get server-side props, or get static props. In a typical JavaScript project, the data you fetch is just an object. You have to remember the exact structure of that data when you pass it down as props to your page component. If the API response changes, you might not notice until something breaks visually on the page. With TypeScript, you can define an interface or a type for that data. For example, you could create a post type with properties like ID, title, and content. Then you can type the return value of your data fetching function and the props of your page component with this post type. Now, if you try to access a property that doesn't exist, like post.authorName, when it should be post.author TypeScript, will immediately flag it as an error. Next.js even provides built-in types like getServerSideProps and InferGetServerSideProps type that make this process incredibly smooth and intuitive. This ensures that the data flowing from your server to your client is always consistent and correct. This level of type safety from data fetching all the way to component rendering is what leads to a truly robust application. Another powerful aspect is how TypeScript improves API route handling in Next.js. When you create an API route, you can use TypeScript to define the expected shape of the request body and the structure of the response you're sending back. This creates a clear contract for both your front end and your API. You can even share these types between your front-end components and your back-end API routes, ensuring they always stay in sync. This prevents a whole class of bugs that can occur when the client and server have different expectations about the data being exchanged. It fosters a cleaner, more predictable, and more professional code base. Ultimately, all of these benefits: compile time error checking, improved developer experience, and better maintainability lead to better overall application, performance, and quality. And I don't just mean performance in terms of speed, but performance in terms of reliability and user experience. Fewer bugs mean a smoother, more professional experience for your users. A cleaner code base means your team can ship new features faster and with more confidence. By catching errors early and enforcing a more structured way of writing code, TypeScript and Next.js together help you build higher quality software. The initial effort of adding types pays for itself many times over throughout the lifecycle of a project. So, to wrap it all up, the combination of Next.js and TypeScript isn't just a trend, it's a strategic choice for building professional, production-grade web applications. Next.js provides the powerful framework and seamless setup, while TypeScript provides the safety, clarity, developer tooling to build with confidence. You get a development experience that is both fast and safe, allowing you to scale your projects without sacrificing code quality. The result is a cleaner, more robust, and more maintainable code base that your future self and your teammates will thank you for. If you're starting a new Next.js project, I wholeheartedly recommend you start with TypeScript. The benefits are simply too significant to ignore. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide has given you a clear picture of why TypeScript and Next.js are such a perfect match. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you want to see more content like this on modern web development, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let me know in the comments if you're using TypeScript in your projects and what your experience has been. Thanks again, and happy coding.